but I played it recently, and I can say this is a great game. Like they did right. They did right. I think from software, I don't have they ever had misses though. I don't know if all the games they made. I know, like they made the Souls like games. I don't think they miss with any of those games. Like I don't know about no goddamn the Frenchie, Kuo, shit like that, bit. Ninja Blade. Actually, hold on. I do know Ninja Blade. I do know Ninja Blade. Slightly a bit, not too. I remember this game though. Slightly. I'm not gonna say you feel me? I was a big fan, but I remember this. I remember like this character at least. I don't know if I played it or I was around someone who played it, but I remember him. But I don't know. Elden Ring was good. Great, actually.
Why is Elden Ring such a breath of fresh air when
It's
most
beautiful.
other AAA games feel copy-pasted? And why did this game cause so much controversy?
Elden Ring is Game of the Year? The game is
That's cap. I'm not gonna lie, bro. After playing the game, any nigga that say Elden Ring is trash, they are either trying to make you angry, like they trying to, you feel me? They trying to rage bait you, or they just simply haven't played the game. It's one of the two. They just trying to rage bait you, or they just haven't played the game, bro.
man.
To answer these questions, we first need to understand that when Elden Ring
tree
came out,
sentinel,
the
man.
game defied everyone's expectation. Elden Ring sold 12 million copies in the first 2 weeks. Even Miyazaki, the mastermind behind Elden Ring, was surprised by the success. And to put the sales into context, Elden Ring at release was on pace to sell the same amount of copies as some of the best-selling open-world games of the last decade. GTA 5, Skyrim, and Breath of the Wild. I mean, if you really think about it, Elden Ring should not have been performing as well as these other games. Don't get me wrong, Elden Ring is an incredible game, but most
Hold on, let me see. Wait, yeah.
FromSoft games are pretty niche and usually target a more hardcore and advanced player
it's
base.
Souls-like
By nature,
games.
FromSoft games shouldn't sell.
It's Souls like games, but I was gonna look up the games that came out in 2022. Because obviously Elden Ring, that's some dick that came out. Hold on. Okay, God of War Ragnarok. Okay, so we got God of War Ragnarok. Okay, Shifu was actually had some static. Horizon Forbidden West. Saints Row. Dying Light 2. Stray. I didn't really understand Stray. The Castillo Protocol. Oh, I played that. I actually still have it. I never beat it. Gotham Knights. What the fuck, bro? These booty ass games, bro. Overwatch 2 came out this year? No, it says 2023. What the fuck they live for? Bro, Modern Warfare 2 is one of the best selling Call of Duties, but bro, they didn't really have no comp, bro. Last of Us Part 1, the remake version of the fucking original Lego Star, bro, they didn't have no comp, bro. Bro, these niggas ain't had no comp. I see why they won Game of the Year. What the fuck, bro? Ain't shit come out for real.
As much as Zelda or GTA. But this time, Elden Ring did. Why? What was different about Elden Ring, and what set it apart from other FromSoft games?
Nah, they did do a great job on
Nothing
that.
really. Yes, Elden Ring was open world, so unlike other Souls games, you could avoid certain bosses and areas. Yes, the lore was some of the best I'd ever seen in
I still gotta go and play the old Dark Souls as well. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but I gotta do that.
the game. The world was so immersive that I don't think I could ever find everything in the mysterious world of the lands between. Seriously, Elden
That's facts, bro. That's facts. When I played my first playthrough, when I beat the story, bro, it was so much to do afterwards. So many optional bosses I didn't even know were in the game that I ended up finding, bro. That shit beautiful.
Elden Ring is a masterpiece. Go play this game. But I would argue that almost every FromSoft game is a masterpiece too. And just like the other Souls games, Elden Ring still targets a hardcore player base. And the gameplay is still punishing as hell. So why
I ain't never
is
fight
Elden
that
Ring
nigga.
capturing
That's
a
what I'm
much
saying.
larger chunk of the gaming market? There is a huge demand for high quality AAA games and not much of a supply.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine you're at a restaurant and you have a hankering for some steak, but they're out of stock. All they have left is some burnt scraps of cooked steak they can shovel onto a plate, or you can get a delicious honey-baked ham with a sweet honey drizzle. So although you wanted a steak, you choose the honey-baked ham because
I mean, me personally, I wouldn't really want a steak. I'd rather probably like some chicken tenders, you know, depending on where I'm at. I don't want no fucking ham. Why would I go to a restaurant and get some fucking glazed ham, bro? I could get that shit in the, bro, I'm pretty sure, bro, everybody then they got some ham in the freezer, bro, that's like all the way at the bottom, so you just gotta look, bro. Why the fuck would I go to a restaurant for some glazed ham?
the steak scraps just aren't edible. This is the AAA game market we are in right now. Millions of gamers looking at the piss-poor options, praying to Gabe, the god of Steam, to give them anything fun and exciting. It doesn't matter what genre, as long as it's good. Just give us something edible and satisfying. So when Elden Ring came out and the world saw how amazing this game was, people who were originally intimidated by Souls games looked at Elden Ring and said, screw it, let's try it out. I got nothing else to play. So like the
That's facts. That's literally how I thought. That was my exact mindset. Fuck it, bro. Might as well. Fuck it. See what the hype about. Boy, did I see what the hype was about.
guy choosing the ham over the burnt steak, I would argue that Elden Ring's meteoric success is not only a byproduct of how good the game is, but because there's such a small supply of good AAA titles right now. Elden Ring really is the best option on the menu. However, like every industry, there will be people who hate or love something purely because of its popularity. And man, do we have a few in the gaming industry. But what's surprising this time, many of the people who hate Elden Ring are developers at other studios, infuriated by Elden Ring's success.
Same developer who said, Elden Ring's UX is so bad that I can only imagine FromSoft's devs smoking at their desks and using CRT monitors.
I guess these developers felt that the game violated certain tenets of
The fact that Elden Ring scored a 97 Metacritic is proof that reviewers don't give a flaming poop about game UX. Damn, bro. His ass really gunning, bro. He mad because Elden Ring is better than his shit. That's fucking crazy.
game development, and by violating these rules of development, Elden Ring didn't deserve its success. Why would these
niggas
devs
be
be
beefing?
so
I
angry
ain't know-
about
I ain't-
Elden Ring's success?
That's how you know the world is just fucked up, bro. It don't matter what you do, bro. Niggas go hate. It don't matter what you do, a nigga go hate. You can make one of the best games of the year, bro. Literally, you can make the best game of the year. Niggas still go hate on you, bro. It doesn't matter.
Yes. Who cares if Elden Ring didn't follow the rules of game development? It's not like Elden Ring's success affects them. Well, most
Ooh, whoever this is, he's trash. Not gonna
follow
lie.
the rules of game development. It's not like
That was an
Ring's
easy
success
dodge. Boom. You jump. You jump. You jump, bro. He just standing there, you stupid fucking loser. That's why you got your shit clapped, bro.
affects them. Well, mostly. I can see why developers at Guerrilla Games were upset. Elden Ring released only 1 week after Horizon Forbidden West, so you
Why be
could
upset
say
about that?
Elden Ring overshadowed the hype around Horizon. So Horizon
I mean, bro, it's a competition. Whoever makes the better game, niggas go play the better game. Like, that's how it is, bro. That's how it always
possibly didn't perform as expected. The reason is petty, and in no way Elden Ring's fault, but at least I can see where the Guerrilla devs' frustration comes from. But why were Ubisoft devs
Just make a
so
better
upset?
game. Just get
None
better.
of their sales were affected by the release of Elden Ring. Now, remember, these were only a few people and not
Just
the
get
whole
better,
studio
gang.
who were angry at Elden Ring. However,
Just get
the
better,
response from gamers to not only these devs, but Ubisoft as a whole showed us something really interesting. Gamers are tired of playing the same thing. We
Right.
are tired of the formulaic nature of Ubisoft in most other AAA games.
Facts.
Sure. Yeah. It has a satisfying shooter-looter game loop. The graphics are great. The mechanics are well-tuned
The
and executed,
Division.
and the story's acceptable.
Bummer? Yeah. It's exactly the same as all other Ubisoft games. It's just another copy-paste.
You see, when every user interface, every store, and every game looks relatively the same, we notice. It's like hotel art. Each piece of art is theoretically different, but somehow feels and functions exactly the same. So when the first few Assassin's Creed games came out, they felt new and
Is that a
exciting.
mobile
Running around
Assassin's
the Holy Land
Creed?
of Rome, leaping off buildings, sneaking or hiding in hay bales, it was unique. But now I can
Yeah.
barely tell the difference between Assassin's Creed gameplay and every other Ubisoft game. Ubisoft thinks if they just change the era and location of each game, we won't notice. I mean, one has knives and one has guns, right? But just like hotel art, they may look different, they don't feel any different. It's the same game with a new coat of paint. This reason is why Ubisoft devs reacted the way they did. They have been taught that to make a successful game, you need to follow a formula. So when a studio like FromSoftware makes Elden Ring without the formula, and it's incredibly successful, it infuriates developers who have had their creativity restricted and pushed into a box. Now, these devs who criticize FromSoft should take full responsibility for what they said in a public forum. However, I also blame AAA studios like Ubisoft for forcing their teams to create unimaginative copycats of their previous 10 games. We
Bro,
can
that's
get
their
mad
fault,
at a few
bro.
devs all we want.
At the
The
end of
real
the day.
problem comes from the Ubisoft's executives choosing to be formulaic. But why are the leaders of Ubisoft and other AAA studios hellbent on producing the same type of game? Why force your devs to work on the 100th Assassin's
Because I don't even really know. What could be the reason why they making the games the same? Easier to make, faster to make, probably less money to spend on the game. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Creed when they want to work on something new and exciting? The answer? Stability and money. This may be obvious to everyone, but milking an IP over and over again is the easiest way to make money
Oh, so I was kind of right in a sense if you really think about it in my way. Yeah.
as an entertainment company. It's the reason why we've had a new Call of Duty 19 years in a row, and also why 2022's top 20 best-selling games are all existing IP. 2022
Modern Warfare 2 was the best selling game of that year. Elden Ring was number 2. Jesus Christ. Wowzers. Wow. It is true. Yeah, every game is a fucking
top 20 best-selling games
Damn.
are all existing IP or sequels, except for Elden Ring. Seriously, look at this.
Yeah, Minecraft is 18 still? That's nice.
Elden Ring is the only game on here that is a new IP. What's even more crazy about this list is that 2 of the top 20 games were Call of Duty games, and 3 of them were sports sequels, which are notorious for being the exact same as their predecessor. We can complain about these games being soulless copycats all we want, but we're the ones buying these soulless games in droves. And
That's
for
true.
companies to come up with brand new games and IP,
That's why we
is
always
risky.
just go to fucking
so
Roblox
studios
or
will make
something.
sequels for as
Goddamn
long as
Fortnite.
possible if we keep buying them. So I don't ever see studios not making sequels when we buy them year after year. That said, there is a negative effect on your brand when you don't release something new or innovative. Think about it. What is one of your favorite games? Remember when that game was released and how you felt about the developer of that game. Pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
think about that specific developer's most recent games.
Yeah.
How do those new games compare with your favorite game?
They
And how do
don't,
you
they
feel
don't.
about that developer now?
Fuck
Probably
him,
not
bruh.
great. For me,
Fuck that
it was
nigga.
Blizzard and Warcraft 3.
Smack the
This
shit out of
game
him,
made
bro.
Blizzard my favorite developer, and I wouldn't allow a bad word to be said about them. But now, Blizzard has released cash grab after cash grab, not to mention everything else they have done. And I can't help but look at Blizzard with disappointment. A bad game happens sometimes, but Blizzard hasn't made a good game since 2016 with Overwatch.
That's
Not to
facts.
mention they somehow
facts.
butchered Warcraft 3
I
with
wouldn't
the
know.
release of Reforged.
I wouldn't know. I've never
I
touched
just
that.
can't imagine defending Blizzard.
I didn't touch
anymore.
that.
The
I'm
Blizzard
not,
brand has fallen
no.
from one of the greatest video
Damn, is
game
that,
developers
Soldier?
to a company that is compared to EA. But as we saw with Blizzard in the beginning, the opposite occurs when you release something new that just blows people away like Elden Ring. Gamers will have your back.
Facts. This is why I say, like, yo, any nigga, like, bro, all these people could make a comeback. They all could make a comeback. Like, they could do it, bro. It just take one game. One game. Feel me? The right people to listen to the people. And then you back in the you back in the game. It's that easy, bro. It's that easy.
Even if the game isn't perfect. I mean, look at one of the biggest controversies on YouTube, featuring the Act Man and Quantum TV.
This guy made a video saying like Elden Ring sucks or something, and he hates everyone that plays Elden Ring. So Act-Man made a video about like the worst take in Elden Ring.
The drama from these Elden Ring videos escalated to way more controversial stuff, like bigotry, copyright, demonetization, and the Act-Man trending as the #1 story on Twitter. But all this stemmed from arguments about Elden Ring. Why? Because FromSoft had gained
Hold
some
on.
arguments about Elden Ring.
I just seen this video today. I didn't even watch it because of the title. But I don't even think it's what it is.
Why? because FromSoft had gained some huge brownie points for releasing pure art. And like any extravagant piece of art, people will have visceral reactions, both positive and negative. Which is also why people get so angry when you change the story and lore of video games with TV shows like Halo or The Witcher. I mean, Witcher 3 was a beloved game and a piece of art to so many people, not to mention the comics. So when you mess up the story and lore in the show, the community isn't toxic when they react negatively. They are passionately asking for you to respect.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
piece of
I really didn't understand, especially with the Halo, because I was actually really hyped for the Halo TV show, and I still watched it. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't as bad as I thought though. But I'll probably give it like a 4 or 5 though, cause it'd be just like some shit I would fall asleep to. But it wasn't that bad. But yeah, I don't really like how they did the story. Like I felt like it would have been just easier. Like you would have made way more money if you just would have went based off the fucking game. Like Halo is literally like the blueprint for a lot of like, come on, bro. Like it's fucking Halo. Why not go off the story? Why would they go and make their own story knowing that the story that you make is not going to top the fucking game story? You stupid. Bro, that shit is annoying.
art as they do.
That
And
shit
all this
annoying.
said,
Then they
I
made the
don't
nigga
just
Master
want to
Chief take off
bash
his
on AAA
helmet.
studios and walk away. True constructive criticism should have ideas for improvement, not just ranting. So if I had the
Beautiful game right
opportunity to consult a AAA studio, I would suggest the Pareto principle to be applied company-wide. This principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, is the observation that roughly 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. One company effectively applying this technique is Google. During my time at Google, I saw how they allowed their employees
you
to
worked at
spend
Google?
20% of their time working on something the individual thought would most benefit the company. Both Gmail and AdSense came from this practice, and the former made Google more than $54 billion just in 2022. A more applicable example is Fortnite. The original Fortnite concept was developed from an internal game jam put on by Epic Games. Although they don't strictly follow the 80-20 rule, a game jam is just one example of its application.
Like,
Led by
bro,
the 80-20 rule developed from an internal
look at the
game
niggas
jam
they
put
had
on by
playing
Epic
this
Games.
shit, bro.
Although they don't strictly follow the 80-20 rule, a game jam is
Yo. What the fuck, bro? Yo, this bad lineup. These old ass niggas, bro. Where the young niggas at? Why they have all these old ass niggas playing Fortnite? No one these niggas not about to put in no work, bro.
just one example of its
Come on, bro.
application. Letting your team take time to work on new
You coulda
and
got,
innovative
what's his
ideas.
name?
Just pure
Beluga in that hoe.
creativity with no deadlines. And creativity is the key to a company's longevity. You need to constantly innovate to stay alive. And it's what the AAA industry desperately needs right now. So how can we get more games like Elden Ring? AAA studios need to allocate 20% of all their resources to working on new and innovative games. No deadlines, no parameters, just pure creativity. Let your developers work part-time on something they are passionate
Damn that game,
about.
bro.
Be
Oh my
amazed at what they
gosh,
create.
bro.
I'm not saying stop making sequels. As we saw, AAA studios make a lot of money from sequels, and sequels aren't always a bad thing. I'm stoked for a Hollow Knight 2, and I pray for a Warcraft 4. However, for AAA studios to be profitable while garnering the love and support of the gaming community, AAA studios should look at Elden Ring as an example to stop
Facts, bro.
making formulaic games while applying Pareto's principle to let their developers conceptualize and build masterpieces
I want to play that so bad,
all
bro.
will appreciate. Like
Bro,
Elden
the
Ring.
fucking need a fucking Nintendo Switch.
Thanks to everyone who joined our Discord and submitted their favorite indie games for this week's video. The indie game our community voted as their favorite for this video was Inmost, made by Hidden Layer Games. It's a puzzle platform game and it's currently being sold on multiple platforms. So go check it out and join our Discord to let us know what game we should feature next.